Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to this first match in week 2 for the LEGO The Hobbit restricted any percent tournament. In this race, we have a battle between the 5th, 6th, and 7th seeds, Mega, Jack, and Olive, all of which are hoping to outperform their seeding by taking the 3rd and 4th seed slots in the top 8 finale for this competition. So a lot on the line for this one. But yeah, with that, I think we are pretty good to get started. It is just me, Captain Paxo, on comms today. We might be joined by Laser later, but it is early in the morning for him, so I'm not counting on it. But yeah, if every runner can get themselves to the unskippable cutscene, or not unskippable cutscene, to the point where they can start the run, alt-tab and start the run, then yeah, we'll get this going. Yeah, this should be a very interesting race. We have 3 very close runners here. Between the 3 of Mega, Jack, and Olive. Mega and Jack came through, finishing 1st and 2nd in the week 2 match. Last week, the Rung 2 match last week, and Olive won the Rung 3 match last week to be able to be in this position. So yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how we go. Looks like Olive and Jack got bad title screen, but shouldn't be too disastrous. They should yeah, they should be ready to go any second now. So I think with that being said, we should be ready to count this down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Good luck, runners. We just got a bit of delay before they start. That's just a bit of stream delay. But they should be going pretty soon. Looks like Mega might have a bit of a lead, or Olive. Yeah, Mega has a small lead going in, and Jack and Olive are pretty similar, but that's no big deal either way. And yeah, we'll see a very interesting battle between these 3 runners. We have Mega and Olive, the 2 Australians in this competition, so far performing incredibly well. Mega pulled off a huge upset alongside with Jack to knock Laser down to the 3rd rung for this week. Yeah, Mega ending up winning with a 24-13 PB, I believe, in the 2nd race. To be able to take that, which is a very strong performance. Jack was able to clutch out the 3rd race in that, to be able to remain not too far behind Mega, only finishing 1 point behind Mega. So yeah, it'll be pretty even between those 2. And then we have Olive, who started the rung below Mega and Jack, but absolutely cruised through the first match. Swept. Who was Olive playing? It was... I have it here somewhere. There we go. Swept Julikos and Mugen to be able to take 9 points, a maximum 9 points available from that race, and storm through into this top rung and give themselves a chance of qualification. As we go into the very first big skip in this run, which is gem skip, you see Mega and Jack get it perfectly, just about tied up. Olive taking the time a little bit more. Smart decision. This is a big time loss if you miss it. It's about 1:40 if you miss it. It's almost quicker to reset, but we've said to the runners that they can't do that and they have to play the level, or play that room casually if they do miss gem skip. But thankfully, none of them are having such an issue, which is always a good sign. Yeah, it looks like we're going to have a close race in this room at least. There's still a lot of potential pitfalls in Greatest Kingdom and Middle-earth in particular. This is one of the most optimization heavy splits. And we can see kind of between the runners, Mega on paper is certainly the strongest in this one, with a 526 best exit out of Greatest Kingdom. Jack has a 539 and Olive has a 532. So we should, if it goes according to form, see Mega pull out a tiny and a few seconds of lead. There is also a small skip, a new skip later towards the end in the second to last room, which I'll talk over when we get there. But yeah, this is going to be a very interesting race. One of the things we have to consider for this as well is the format. So the way this will work is these runners will be doing 3 races against in this kind of group of 3, doing 3 races today. If you win a race, then you receive 3 points. If you come second in a race, you receive 1 point, and if you come third, you receive none. So very important to get kind of 3 good runs in there. See Mega going for barrier skip now, going through the barrier, which is very very nice way of doing it. We see Jack go over the barrier and Olive go over as well. So all of them so far have nailed all the tricks. Is always a good sign. Olive in particular taking a death there, which is a little bit unfortunate. But yeah, no, all of them have got through this very cleanly. Always a good sign. One of the big things with any kind of tournament matches is making sure all the big stuff is consistent. You can afford to lose a little bit on pace here and there, but if you can have a consistent run through, then that 90% of the time is far more important than having a super optimal time. But yeah, super optimal time, but with mistakes. As all of them come into this room now, we might potentially see a deviation in strats at some point along the line. There was a new strat that Seed found here for these gold buffer jumps. The normal method is to get into this vertical buddy up state, and then every time you're coming into contact with the floor, you're holding the A button, the jump button, and holding no directional input. And that allows you to jump across what is effectively a kill plane. There is the possibility that any of these runners can choose to do these jumps with 1 player rather than having 2 players in the vertical buddy up, which saves time to having the buddy up. And the way you do that is by hitting a reload door on the final platform, which spawns 2 characters back up at the top, which is what you need to finish the section. Saves about 2 seconds if you can pull it off, but was found yesterday. So I think especially when considering tournament play, it's going to be unlikely we see that coming through. But if one runner is particularly behind, they might decide that it's time to have a crack at it. But yeah, as we see these final times for Greatest Kingdom coming in, it has gone pretty much to form. Mega with a 536, it's about plus 10 to gold. Olive with a 540, plus 8 to gold, I think. And Jack with a 541, only plus 2 to gold. But that's about what we'd expect at this stage, probably, going by form. Mega just has a little bit more of an awareness of those kind of smaller optimizations. But yeah, this should be very interesting, and it'll be interesting to see how one of the next big hurdles, Bush Launch, goes for Mega. Gets it first try. That was very nicely done. Jack goes for a 1-player setup for Bush Launch, but also gets it first try. Olive just misses. That was literally the maximum height that can fail for Olive, which is unfortunate. Gets it second try, which is not too bad, all things considered. And then we will see them all make their way over to perform the big sequence break in this run. For those of you who aren't aware, this sequence break is it is quite a large one. But we skip 11.5 levels by doing this. And what we do is we go from level 1 to hit an out of bounds dev intended or unintended door in the overworld, and this loads the 3rd room of level 13. And from there, the game progresses like we've played it as normal, which is a bit of a strange way of doing it. But yeah, it's just a complete dev oversight, and also it is barely hittable with conventional mechanics. You need to be jumping from the exact right position, facing the exact right angle, moving the exact right direction to be able to hit it. It's the kind of thing that no casual player has ever found, because it's an obscure place to be jumping as well. We see also another tech from these guys here, which is known as the hovers. Again, another developer oversight. Basically what will happen is, as you're spinning with these characters, if you're spamming attack while in the buddy up state, and you don't hold a direction as the animation starts or ends, the game doesn't check if there's a floor beneath you. And runners are able to use that to gain effectively infinite horizontal distance, which is absolutely massive in skipping sections and kind of navigating the out-of-bounds terrain. We'll see Jack do it on the right. Meanwhile, Mega will be pulling out a bit of a lead. And Olive as well, getting sign launch. It's very good from both runners, really good to see. We see, yeah, Mega unfortunately doesn't quite jump down both characters at the same time. If you jump both at the same time, then you have a small period of time where you can do this fall down in 2 players. But it is quite precise to do it between the 2. So we see Olive also fails it, and Jack doesn't even go for it. Jack has got 10 studs though, needs to get rid of them, does so. And yeah, we got a very close race going through so far. Yeah, Mega extends the lead slightly. What's that? Lead up to about 14 seconds between both Jack and Olive, who are tied at the moment. So yeah, very close start. This is about what I was expecting for this race. We have probably the 3 closest runners on the board right now. All have been improving rapidly at the moment. Mega with a 24:13 PB. Jack with a 24, I think it was a 24 OX, which was achieved just a few hours ago. And Olive with a 24:33. They're all very close, around the same kind of ballpark. Makes it very interesting to see who's closest and who's furthest away in a race setting. Because you can just have that 1 PB where everything lines up, everything goes right, but your actual true consistent pace is a lot further behind. But at the same time, you could have a PB which you can consistently get really close to. So it will be interesting to see the variance between these 2. We're going to see Birdless now though from Mega. So you've got to fall down, jump onto this bit of collision, get in this diving animation, and then wait about 13-14 seconds before breaking the object. And what this does is this allows player 1 to build vertical speed downwards. Once enough vertical speed is built downwards, then that speed will reflect upwards off the floor and cause a launch over the door. We see Mega gets it, does it riskier compared to Jack and Olive, who both choose to heal a bird rather than just waiting out the time. That's kind of a way of mitigating the damage from a backup. If you do miss it, because it is a 1 try, you can kind of mitigate some of the damage from that. So we see everyone gets it though, which is important, but once again Mega will have pulled out a little bit more of a lead here. As we go into the Azog fight, everyone seems to have got the 1P2C cleanly. It looks to me that Jack has maybe pulled out a couple of seconds advantage back over Olive, which is not too bad, all things considered. They're still very close together though. I mean, all in the same room is fantastic at this point, especially with the high variance that kind of late game has. A big kind of demand for consistency here. Also, I didn't comment on this, but all the runners getting a sub 9 looking for proof exit is very, very high level. I mean, once you're on a 23 pace, kind of mid to low 23 pace, you're looking at sub 830 being the criteria, but that then probably puts this at around a low 24 kind of target time, which is really good for all of these runners. If Olive gets on that kind of pace, then that's a very strong chance of PB. For Jack, maybe you will need a little bit more, but yeah, still very, very strong from all runners so far. In fact, I can check how each of them are doing versus PBs right now. Mega is plus 12 to PB, Jack is plus 7 to PB, and Olive is plus 11 to PB. That's a kind of gap to PB where it's still very much on the table. And will very much depend on how the rest of this run is played out. But we have this boss fight now, the Necromancer boss fight against Sauron. This is kind of the slower section of the run. There isn't too much to do here, but one thing you'll note all players doing, although they will be getting down to 0 studs. So making sure when they end the level, both players have 0 studs to their name. And the reason we do that is it just saves a lot of time. It saves 3 or 4 seconds or something in the status screen. Very, very decent amount to have saved. And of course, as a result of that, well, in this level in particular, it's very easy to get. We're going to see all the runners going for it. It's a very common thing to do now. I can't imagine there'll be any reason why any of them don't go for it. We see Mega's already down to 0. Jack has got to take about 6 deaths with Radagast to get down there. Olive, meanwhile, is on the way as well. Got to take maybe 4 more deaths with Radagast. And we have the downtime to do it because this boss fight is very scripted. But there are a lot of optimizations to make in this boss fight. We've seen Mega's been struggling a little bit there by the looks of it, with just building the pieces at the right time. It's quite a skill to have the ability to predict where the pieces go and then be able to build them as quickly as possible. We see Jack nearly had it there, but then missed collecting. Or I think didn't complete the build or something, like let go of the B button, which can happen. Very unfortunate. Yeah, that probably brings Olive back into it, because Olive got a very clean build, and there'll be a lot in this level. This kind of micro shuffling of you know, plus 1 second here, minus 1 second here throughout this boss fight. There's 2 main things which you can lose time on in this boss fight. The first is building the pieces, as I was saying, and the second is hitting the tower. Mega is going to be building the last of the pieces. Gets a medium fast build. That wasn't great. There's definite room for improvement there, but it was okay. Gets a quick hit on the tower though, so it's not too bad. Jack and Olive are still very much neck and neck here. But after this level, this is where things get quite interesting, quite spicy, because we immediately after this level go into kind of a gauntlet of launches, pickup launches. So we'll see the first one here, Icicle Launch. Basically what you got to do is pick up, use the buddy up mechanic between 2 characters, and do it in such a way that the game forces you upwards, and even at 60 FPS you get enough height to get a launch upwards. You see Mega taking the lead there, gets it second try. Meanwhile, Jack and Olive are pretty much tied up, but Jack with a first try Icicle Launch. Olive in a little bit of trouble here, needs to get it relatively smoothly. It was like 4th or 5th try for Olive. Not great, but not a disaster. Now we see Fast on the Doorstep. Mega is currently trying to find a D-pad setup for Fast on the Doorstep. Kind of off stream, but it hasn't worked, and we see Jack taking the lead here. Yeah, Mega struggling. I think basically pushed Balin too far up. There's definitely some interesting concepts that can be taken from this new Fast on the Doorstep. I mean, this is one of the most difficult, if not the most difficult launch in the run, because you are relying on manipulating a character which you're not playing. And yeah, it's been very unfortunate for Mega here. Mega taking a lot of time loss. Olive, meanwhile, looks to have taken 2nd place. Jack is in the lead now, though. With a good statue skip, we'll be able to get it. Gets it eventually, yeah. Olive doesn't go for statue skip, so we'll actually lose some time here, but probably net catch up a little bit back to where Jack was by opting not to go for it. This is kind of Olive has been talking about after this run, after these set of races, no matter what happens, doing a basically relearning session where just going back through the levels and picking up some more advanced strats, but obviously that hasn't happened yet. We'll see if that's Olive's detriment in this race, but so far I think this level has kind of completely flipped the timings for each of them. Olive's splits look to be... I think a split was missed at the end of Necromancer, which is interesting. Yeah, Olive is aware of it and has skipped the OTD exit, but Olive is 4 seconds behind Jack, leaving on the doorstep, and Mega has definitely lost that lead. Yeah, unfortunate from Mega. Jack about half a minute behind PB right now, but that's still a solid run to be able to put together. I think anything at 24 is good for these runners. But yeah, we can see just how devastating that on the doorstep was for Mega, going from a 17-second lead over Jack out of the Necromancer to a 40-second deficit, so nearly lost a minute to Jack in that level, and that's kind of the swing we expect with on the doorstep. Mega obviously going for a new setup and just wasn't quite working. Meanwhile, we see Jack struggling a little bit with statue skip here. Olive is very close behind. And is able to catch up a little bit of time. Yeah, Mega is about 1 floor behind both Olive and Jack. Jack with a very slender lead, but Olive does have worse loads, so I'd call them pretty much even about now. Because of course this event, we run on the loadless time. So, anything, yeah, even though one runner might look slightly ahead in real time on the screen, they might be slightly behind, but of course, if it's that close, we'd go to the final times anyway and, like, make sure the split timings are accurate, all that stuff instead. Looks like Mega got statue skip relatively clean, so maintains this kind of 1 floor deficit in this first section. This is again a very nuanced section. We have the force rolling, but you'll see the players will all use this flail movement where they charge up with the B button and then spin with, they'll spin as much as possible because that's the fastest movement. It's just as fast as running, I think. Although you don't have running in this section, you only have the forced rolling. So it's very useful to have that. We'll see, I think Jack is going to carry a lead into the unskippable cutscene. Olive looks to have slipped a couple more seconds back, but they are going to be so even. Looking at it, I mean, yeah, I don't know what their true times entering the unskippable cutscene are, but they're pretty close together. Jack is on for a good pace here. It's definitely best possible time is a 24:32, which would be a very strong run for Jack. Best possible time for Olive is probably around the same. If I had to guess, it might be a little bit further back. I'm not sure how strong Olive's gold is in inside info. Mega, meanwhile, also enters the unskippable cutscene. Best possible time, 24:56. So, this can go either way, though. There is 3 big launches at the end of this run. We have 3 launches, basically, that end off this run. And all of them can be very difficult. Or very easy to snowball time on, shall we say. The first one, which we'll see Jack going for, is probably the easiest one of the 3. And then the second one is, depending on the strat you go, can be really difficult or kind of okay. I know Jack goes for a different strat compared to any of the other runners, so we'll see what Jack chooses to do, whether he has learned Loz launch or whether he's still sticking with his more conventional strategies. Or more unconventional strategies. The first launch here, get himself in this kind of gap here, gets the buddy up immediately and gets the launch. Very well done from Jack. Olive having a little bit of trouble getting the buddy up. The hardest thing about this is getting the buddy up. This first launch. Olive gets it and then gets the launch. Jack going for Loz launch, which is a one try because your Gualin is half in bounds, half out of bounds. But Jack manages to get it. Olive trying it. Too late on the jump. Yeah, the jump timing for Loz launch does make a lot of difference. So that's some unfortunate time loss there for Olive. And yeah, looks like Jack's in prime position to go into Jack launch, at least with a strong lead. Olive gets it eventually. And Mega seems to be struggling a bit as well. Okay, Mega gets the first launch while Jack is doing this kind of awkward 1p2c, I guess. Well, it's not that awkward, it's pretty straightforward 1p2c, but then throwing the torches at Smaug has a small bit of nuance to it, although not that much. Be trying to throw it so you don't just spam with one player, you kind of very slightly time it, so as one torch is hitting, you throw the next one, and that basically just about bypasses Smaug's iframes. So Jack will be the first one to be going into Loz launch here. Jack launch here. We'll see how this goes for him. Not an easy trick.
Olive, can you still mix up last time?
And yeah, we'll see what final time he gets here. Jack launch setup looks good. And just about makes it over the axe plate. And that'll be time coming up for Jack. Okay, so Jack finishes with a 24-27. We'll see what Olive gets. Olive does have worse loads. Gets Jack launch very quickly though. And ends up with a final time 24-44. So close, really close between those two. Only 17 seconds in it. And we'll wait for Mega to finish out this run because Mega's not far behind at all. I think this won't be a 24, this will be a 25. But we'll see how Mega can handle Jack launch. Gets a good setup by the looks of things. Drops in on keyboard, which is part of the setup here. And gets a really weird launch there on Jack launch. That's unfortunate. Like Bilbo wasn't quite in the right position there. Yeah, struggling a bit with this setup. That is unfortunate. That is unfortunately the way that this trick can go. Gets a really low height launch. Yeah. And then finally gets the top launch. Yeah, unfortunate for Mega. That was a really solid first half of this run. But comes in with a 26.09. So definitely does not take the win here. The win goes to Jack with 3 points. And then Olive very close behind takes second with 1 point. And then Mega unfortunately doesn't score any points for this one. Okay, yeah, so with the points updated, all the runners can head back to where they are, to the start again, and we can get the second race going. Looks like Olive might be taking a small break for a second. But yeah, GG's to all the runners for that first race. Very, very strong first race. Yeah, all the runners will make their way back. We'll clear the times off the screen. Like so. And yeah, that was a very strong first race from all three runners though. Really good to see how close it was. And it looks like Mega is getting himself ready to get to the point where he can alt tab and start if Jack and Olive can do the same as well.
Far away to the east, there was the city of Dale, peaceful and
Like Jack's ready as well. Olive just a little bit behind. That's fine. Yeah, Olive has bad title screen as well, so just a little bit more time. Looks like has to do keybinds and stuff. Also needs to clear splits. Looks like Olive was having some issues with keybinds. Keybinds in this game can be very weird. Hopefully they're all set up now. Just showing settings and then good started. Yeah, Olive does have the longer title screen, so we'll wait a little bit before starting. Okay, it looks like they're all ready to go, so we'll get it started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Good luck again, runners. And then again, we just have a little bit of a wait before get started. As they pause on the alt tab, looks like we're pretty much ready. And there we go. Start off race 2. Okay, so as we go into this race, it's a very interesting kind of difference in mentality you'd have between each of the runners. Olive had an incredible run. But Olive's PB being a 24.33, ending up with a 24.4x is fantastic work. That's a really good sign of things to come. Even though he didn't quite get the win, just being that close is always a positive going into matches like this. If you're Jack, obviously you've got to win, which is a really strong position to be. At the very least, top 2. A win here would guarantee a 3rd seed for Jack. 2nd place here would... Wow, there's some weird stipulations that can potentially happen. But yeah, no, it was a very solid, complete run from Jack. It wasn't on PB pace or anything, but it was a solid run. Mega will probably be brewing a bit of the OTD there. Just that fast OTD setup just didn't seem to be working, which is really unfortunate. We'll see if it works this time or if Mega goes back to an older setup. Obviously, I don't know how much work Mega's put into it, but can be, yeah, very, very unfortunate. We see all the runners getting gem skip again. Mega looked very close to walking into the cutscene with player 2. Maybe got away with it a bit there. But yeah, that's something that can happen. See all of them giving the flute again. And I think as long as none of them miss kind of any major tricks, we'll probably see the same pattern that we saw in the last race, which was Mega takes a small lead into takes a small lead through Greatest Kingdom and into looking for proof, and then hopefully the Necromancer as well, and then the other two might not be that far behind as long as they don't miss any tricks. But it then goes down to the consistency of levels like on the doorstep. See, by the looks of it this time, Mega's taking more of a lead. Or more leading over Olive than leading over Jack. Which is interesting. I think I didn't see anything obviously quote unquote bad with how Jack was doing this this run. But it's yeah, certainly interesting to see the differences between the two. Or between the three actually. Looks like they all got decent gems. I think Jack actually got 3 perfect hits and is taking the lead as a result. Mega had a big problem there by the looks of it, and Olive is also ahead of Mega. Jack barely gets barrier skip. I was concerned about that one. Olive gets it very good, and Mega misses it. So Jack and Olive take a big lead here. Mega has got to do a backup, which loses about 20 seconds to the intended strategy, optimally. But there is also the question mark as to whether Mega has actually practiced this backup or not. Yeah, Mega just has to walk into the activation for the axe plate, and then jump on the railing here. That was unfortunate fall down. Jump on the railing and then do these hovers where you are not holding a direction, so the game doesn't check for floor collision at the start and the end of the animation, and then fall down. Looks like just short for Mega. That is unfortunate. I didn't count how many hovers it was, but there is a certain number of hovers you need to hit, and it depends depending on if you're doing, or if you have a horizontal buddy up or a vertical buddy up. Yeah, very unfortunate for Mega there. Gets a back up second try, which is fine. Olive having some trouble with gold jumps has opened a door back up for Mega. Jack is looking in prime position though. Jack is looking very strong. As yeah, Seed mentions in chat, the free strats that were found, what, a few hours before this run? Oh, it was found yesterday evening, so 15 or so hours before, using single player there. I can't imagine we'll see any of them go for it, but you never know, stranger things have happened. I think it's more going to be used as a backup. If one of them ends up in the middle platform with one player, then they'll just do one buffer jump across and hit that reload, at least for these runs. But yeah, we see them all come through the auto-scroller, and by the looks of it, Jack is going to have a monster lead right now. 534 from Jack is pretty close to gold for him. In fact, it is a gold. By the looks of it, yeah, his gold was previously at 538, so he's been able, in a marathon event, been able to save a good amount of time. It's very, very nice to see. Always nice to see golds during a marathon. But yeah, Mega completely contrasting fortunes to last time. Last time left with a 536. This time it's a 627, 50-second swing. and is going to be playing catch up throughout the entirety of this run. Doesn't help that Jack and Olive got very clean push launches, the pair of them. Look like both of them got it first try. Mega will have to do the same to catch up. But for sure, Mega will have an advantage over at least Jack towards the end of this split, which is sign launch. But let's see how this bush launch goes. First try, absolutely perfect. Good amount of height. You can just get enough height to be able to skip hovering over the river, but it's insanely rare to be able to get it. I think it's only ever happened like a handful of times ever. So doesn't happen. Mega didn't have enough height to be able to cross there. You need even more height than that, and that was a very high launch. So yeah, not quite, you know, saving Miracle's amount of time, but gonna be saving some time, especially over Jack. Jack will be going for not on this river, but on the next river crossing. There's a strat that Mega and I think Olive will go for, which is called Sign Launch. And basically, what is happening for that is in this position where one player has buddied up with the other and has attacked, it builds up some kind of weird collision and speed and stuff on the player that's being controlled. So if you then unbuddy up and buddy up the other way around, which is what Olive's going to do here, eventually, you've stored a launch potential, and Olive uses that. You get just enough height, just barely, to be able to go onto the bridge, and from there go over. It's very precise, not necessarily precise, but it's very interesting how it's worked out in that it is literally the perfect amount of height. And with that, Olive's been able to catch, I want to say 5-6 seconds by doing that sign launch. That was very clean from Olive. Jack, however, by the looks of it, has got a very strong looking for proof inside, and will probably come out of this, I want to say, about even to where he was relative to Olive at the start of the split. Mega, meanwhile, was going for sign launch and then has decided against it. Yeah, sign launch has not been treating Mega well today. I think had some issues with it in the last run as well, though it was masked by the fact that he just was a significant amount ahead by that point anyway. But yeah, it is looking good for Jack and Olive at the moment. Jack with a 20-second lead or so going into the Necromancer, but then Birdless can change all of that. Mega certainly has some work to do here, and will need to, yeah, do the dropout here to be able to get a respawn on the bottom level here. It's a very nice trick that we haven't exactly spoken about, but it's a very cool little trick that saves about a minute and a half or something compared to going around the entire edge of this room playing it casually. So it's a very nice time save for these runners to have. And yeah, Mega with a 10 flat looking for proof ending. That is not strong. That is pretty weak from Mega, which is unfortunate. I think for these runners, they really want to be targeting sub 9 right now. Anything above 9 minutes is not great. Olive had some issues in Gold Room, in the final room of Greatest Kingdom in Middle Earth, and that is why Olive's above that 9-minute threshold. But for Mega, it's significantly worse at the moment. We'll see how Birdless goes for these runners though. Once again, this is a one try and it loses about a minute and a half if you don't get it. They're both going, well, it looks like they both got the collision correct and both went for the bird healing strat. Jack barely makes it over the wall. Spinning around a bit there. That could have been incredibly bad. Very close to missing out there and losing a large amount of time. If you fall in bounds there, you just have to take probably a minute or maybe 40 seconds. There's another one try backup you can do, but if you miss that, it's GG's. Near enough. At least it's a minute and a half that you'll lose total. Mega going for Birdless now, and you have to say has to get it. Gets the jump dive. Yeah, that looks clean for Mega. As long as Mega waits long enough, doesn't try and push it too hard, which can be very easy to do in this situation when you've started getting a little bit tilted. As long as Mega doesn't do that, we should be fine for this. Yeah, this looks good. Yeah, nice from Mega. And yeah, they're all in the same room, but this room is about 1.5 minutes, and obviously Jack and Olive are near the end of it. Mega's near the start of it. So we should see a good lead here for Jack kind of maintaining its way through the rest of the Necromancer. Although some kind of micro saves can bring Olive a little bit closer. I wouldn't expect a major swing where Olive kind of takes back the lead or anything at this point. Yeah, as we go into this Necromancer boss fight, again, a little bit of a slower section. We'll see both runners, or all the runners, going for 0 studs. It's interesting, both runners are choosing to have both wizards have their shields up. Not technically any less optimal than anything, but it does leave a bit more to chance, because if both runners have their shields up, there is the possibility that one runner, or sorry, the hand will target a different wizard to the one you think, and then you have to kind of do your 1p2c backwards until the end of the phase. So it's a little bit of a risk that both of them might encounter, but I think both of them have played this level enough that it's not going to be a major concern for them. Even if it does happen, I don't think it's a kind of brain destroyer for either of them. I think that they'll still be fine. But yeah, Mega is just coming to the end of the first phase, while Jack is about a phase ahead, so it is about 1 minute or so, maybe just over. Jack's lead over Mega at least. Mega might be going into game 3 in a must-win situation, which is very worrying. There is also the situation for Mega where it could be out of his hands right here in this race. If Olive wins and Jack comes second, both of them will end up on 4 points. It's 3 points for a win, 1 for second. And then Mega on 0 points. Maximum you can get is 3. Mega would then not be able to take anything other than 3rd place, which is unfortunate. We'll see if that happens though. There's still a lot of game left to play. We saw a minute swing on the doorstep last time, out of Mega's favour. Mega went in with a 17-second lead, left with a 40-second deficit. It could be that the same happens again, but to either Jack or Olive, and then all of a sudden, as long as Mega gets points here, is in a situation. He's still in the match. And that's going to be very important for him. So yeah, Jack gets 0 studs, exits the level. Olive will also be getting 0 studs, but does need to die with both characters. Does so though, and should also be getting 0 studs. We'll see if Olive split works this time, because it didn't last time. It looks like it hasn't, but I think Olive got around 15 5x or some kind. So it's probably about a 15-second lead right now. Jack missing Icicle Launch is very unfortunate. And that'll swing things back into Olive's favor. Olive is already at the trigger for for starting on the doorstep, while Jack just about gets it. And that's also huge for Mega as well. If Mega can get clean here, then we could see a kind of swing in back into Mega's favor. Olive gets a relatively clean fast on the doorstep, and gets the camera pan skip as well. That's really huge for Olive. Mega indeed gets a first try fast on the first try icicle launch. Jack gets a relatively quick fast on the doorstep.
The company had arrived at
And yeah, it will be Olive in the lead again, which is very cool to see. Mega looks like Mega turned before the jump had fully been through there, which is really unfortunate. Fast on the doorstep has not been going in Mega's favor today. Jack gets statue launch meanwhile. Mega gets fast on the doorstep. And Olive will be completing the level. So Olive has pulled out a lead here, for sure. This has been a very clean on the doorstep for the strats that Olive does. Olive will be looking at strat updating, I think, to do a bit more riskier stuff like statue launch, but not yet. The Jack is going for the spin launch to end this section, struggling a little bit, gets it in the end, so that's not too bad. And yeah, I don't know what Jack's exit time will be here, but it certainly looks like it's advantage Olive going into the final level, inside information.
We're losing the light. Come on.
And Mega has probably caught up a bit to them both, in all honesty. Struggled a bit with fast on the doorstep, and struggled a bit there as well. So was not going to be getting zero studs or anything, but
Break it down.
did cut the lead to Jack down in the Necromancer to about a minute. But still, it's still a way to climb. Jack had a pretty consistent inside info in the last race, so it'll be interesting to see if he can repeat that. Yeah, 18:59, so it's still about a minute for Mega.
The last light of Durin's day had
Olive gets a very clean statue launch.
The company passed into the mountain through the secret door.
And we'll see if Jack can do the same. While Olive is going down to the floor below, and we'll be setting up for a camera pan skip at the end of this floor. Basically what you've got to do is, if you roll up with Bilbo at the right time, it'll chain, well, it won't chain it, but the game will think that you're already on the lower floor, so have already watched the camera pan. It's a very weird kind of trick, but Olive, by the looks of it, will be able to get it here. And as a result, we'll be saving a decent amount of time. Jack is, yeah, about half a floor behind. Mega struggling a little bit with statue launch. Gets it there, though. Gets it good enough. I'd say it's very much still advantage Jack and Olive right here. If Olive wins and Jack comes second, then that is game over for Mega as far as getting seeding in the top 8 at this point. As a reminder, the winner gets the winner of this match gets the 3rd seed in the top 8, and second place in this match gets the 4th seed in the top 8. So it is important to try and get that seeding, and of course, if you do manage to get that seeding in the top 8, it also means you don't have to play next week, which could be huge for practicing, if you can keep the motivation to stay practicing. That's always a bit of a lottery, but we'll see. Yeah, Jack seems to have lost some time here. I didn't catch where, but Olive is significantly further ahead than they already were. Jack hits the unskippable now. Mega's just a floor behind. This gap between Mega and Jack, I think it is going down. It doesn't look to be 38 seconds now, certainly. That's the one I really want to watch out for. There's kind of a thinking that Olive is kind of running and hiding here. But Olive is on PB pace. That is something that should be worth mentioning. Olive is on PB pace running low 24. PB is currently at 24.33. So, yeah, if Olive can beat that would be a very nice PB to have. 5 seconds ahead right now, but is comparing against... Oh, it is racing against a gold. Has to tie gold, or be within 5 seconds of gold to be able to get this PB. And there's a lot of stuff that can go wrong in this. Mega is far off of PB, about 1:40 adrift. And Jack's about 1 minute adrift at this point, although I suspect further adrift now. So, a couple things at play here. I'd really like to see Olive get a PB. It'd be really good. Another one for the tourney as well. Jack does currently have the fastest time in this race with a 24:27. Right, Olive gets the first launch. Very nice.
These furnaces are stone cold. There's no fire hot enough to set them ablaze.
That is a good sign. And gets Loz launch as well. This is looking very good for Olive.
You've grown slow and fat in your dotage. Slug.
Yeah, going into one final big trick, basically. A bit of 1p2c and one final big trick. Looks like Jack gets the first launch good as well. Yeah, Mega might be in trouble here. Jack can get Loz launch. Fails the buddy up first time, gets it second time, and makes it. Yeah, Mega is in trouble here. If this continues as it is, then Mega will be out of contention to get anywhere in this anything other than last place in this match. So we'll see how it goes. Mega misses Loz launch as well. He's got to rely on something happening to Jack or to Olive. If either of them break a box while trying to do the Jack launch, then it is advantage Mega again, because Mega's close enough to put that pressure on. It seems unlikely. I'd imagine both of them will take their time. But we'll see. Olive is in Jack launch now.
Olive, can you still mix a flash flame?
Gets it. This is looking like a very, very clean run from Olive. We'll see if it's a PB. And Olive comes in with a final time of 24:22. That is an 11-second PB for Olive. Very nicely done. That's a huge run to have here. Takes the win, gets the points, gets the 3 points, and we'll see if Jack can take second and eliminate Mega from the running on this one. Looks like a clean Jack launch. And Jack finishes up with a 25:02 final time. And it looks like Mega's too far adrift to do anything about it. Mega really needed some kind of mistake there in Jack launch, but both of them got it super clean. Two very high level sets of runs here. We'll see if Mega can avenge the previous Jack launch issues. Gets the launch, very nice. ends up with a final time of 25:49. So GG's to all the runners there. I mean, especially Olive getting the PB in the marathon or in a race is fantastic work from Olive. And yeah, we will be going into our final race there. If all the runners want to clear their splits and get themselves back to the title screen, we can do that. And yeah, we have Jack and Olive are now tied on 4 points, Mega on no points, and yeah, we will be taking a quick break here. Mega just needs a quick toilet break, and then we will keep going. But yeah, very, very interesting run so far. I mean, Olive must be popping off somewhat after getting that kind of PB. 11-second PB is incredibly good to see. And yeah, Jack has done a decent job at getting a good amount of good number of points, securing the second place in that run to yeah, make sure he's also going to be qualifying for the top 8 this time round. Yeah, we'll see all the runners make their way to the title screens. Jack is already there. Looks like... Okay, I thought Olive's stream had died for a second, but no, we're all good. It was just a loading screen. Jack is ready. Looks like Olive's ready. Oh, no, Olive is quickly checking keybinds and stuff. Yep, Mega's ready to go. Right, okay, yeah, all the runners are ready. So if that's the case, let's get this going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Good luck again to all runners for this final run of the match. And we'll just wait a second before they start. Looks like Mega's about to go.
My
liege, our king
And yeah, we're good to go.
oversee today's mining operation.
built deep within the mountain itself, the beauty of this fortress city was legend.
So this is a very interesting situation. This is a unique score for what we've had so far in this tournament. Yeah, we haven't seen... I don't think we've had any race so far where a runner has come into the final match with 0 points. I think so far every single race one of the runners has picked up at least 1 point. So Mega has got to go here to try and avoid a reverse, or not a reverse sweep, but avoid a whitewash, I guess, a bagel, as it were, ending up with 0 points. So has got to play some kind of first or second, which is going to be difficult against tough competition when you consider Olive's going to be right in the high of already having the PB, which can work two ways. It can either be oh my god, I've got a PB. I don't know what to do, my hands are shaking, and then you just play terribly, like miss gem skip, that kind of thing. Or it goes the flip side, where it's like you are dialed in, and we could see Olive go back to back on the PBs or something like that. It really depends from person to person, and I don't know Olive well enough to say which side it'll go. But it looks like all of them have got gem skip, so a whole 9 for 9 on gem skip is always a good sign. We do love to see that. And yeah, from Jack's point of view, Jack has put together 2 very solid runs. I'm really impressed with the consistency so far that Jack is showing. Obviously, one of the few runners who was running in the very last iteration of this tournament, back in 2022, finished 4th, I believe, in that. 3rd or 4th in that. So has had the experience with this game, and that's kind of showing through with this consistency, which is really good to see from Jack. Obviously Mega and Olive, slightly newer runners, but still putting down really, really strong times. Olive, obviously now with the PB, another runner in the low 24s, which is always good to see. And it brings the difference in PBs between these guys down to an insanely low amount. It's only a few seconds separate all 3 of them. I think 18 seconds or something. But yeah, if I was Olive or Jack, you've got to focus on the fundamentals here. It's literally, for both of them, it's a head-to-head. It doesn't matter what Mega does. Mega could pull out a 23, and it doesn't matter. Which is a shame for Mega, but that's the way it goes. On the flip side, Olive and Jack, they only need to beat each other. We see Jack gets barrier skip very nicely. Olive going for the same, gets it as well. And yeah, of course, the winner of this race goes to... Oh, sorry, the winner of this match gets the 3rd seed spot, and most importantly, gets the side of the draw that doesn't have Hamster in it. If you get the 4th seed, then you win your quarterfinals in the top 8. You will either be playing Hamster in the semifinals, or you'll be playing the person that beats Hamster in the semifinals. Either way, that is a really difficult position to go into. Whereas if you win this match and take the 3rd seed spot, you only have to deal with me, and that is a lot easier of a match than playing against Hamster. And that's of course providing that seeding works out through the quarterfinals and such, which is never a given thing. I mean, we saw that in the Star Wars Complete Saga Ladder League, with the unfortunate issues that happened to Frostbite. Something like that can happen again. But it definitely is, if you're Olive or Jack, you want to win this match, 100%. There's so much more benefit to winning this match compared to just missing out. There's also the possibility of another PB, which is always a good thing. But yeah, Mega will be going to avoid the sweep, avoid the whitewash. And it looks like from this Greatest Kingdom in Middle-earth, Olive will be a little bit behind the others. I don't think it was a particularly unclean Greatest Kingdom from Olive, but it was really clean from the other 2. Was Jack golded again? Jack with another 2-second gold after a 4-second gold in the previous race. Being able to do that back-to-back, that's a great sign of things to come for Jack. I think Jack will be getting a sub 530 gold in Greatest Kingdom pretty soon. And that would be very good. Mega, though, does get first try bush launch. So does Jack. And we'll see if Olive can follow suit. It's looking close at the moment. Yep, Olive gets it as well. Okay, we're going to have 3 very close races. I mean, on the screen, you can barely tell the difference between where Mega is and where Jack is. In real time, it looks to be about a 2-second difference, if that. I think in game time, Jack might have slightly worse loads. I haven't fully been keeping track of it, but it's still pretty close between the two of them. The big thing that Mega does have over Jack is, of course, Sign Launch, which, if done well, will be able to eat about 4 seconds into a lead that Jack has, or save 4 seconds. Like, extend the lead by 4 seconds. So, hopefully more than that. It can be up to 10, depending on how well Mega gets it, but it hasn't looked promising so far. Had a bit of an issue with it in the first run. And then in the second run, had to do a backup. Or decided to do the backup. Decided to just do the normal hover strat rather than going for Sign Launch. Which is fair enough. I mean, it's a risky one. It's a very risky one. Very nice Sign Launch from Mega this time, though. That was very cleanly done. Got the right angle to be able to get the disconnect and then the launch. Jack is going to be a little bit behind, though. Mega's struggling to hit the trigger. Still definitely extends the lead, but compared to how Olive did it, look at how much Olive has closed up. Just took that bit more time to set up the trigger hit, and all of a sudden, Olive is kind of eaten into a decent amount of that 14-second lead that Jack has. And we see, yeah, the struggles Mega had with hitting that that trigger has fully done some damage. Only a 2-second swing. But most importantly, Olive's been able to catch up a second or so as well, despite a slightly less clean looking for proof inside. I mean, they're all really close together at this point. We'll see how Birdless goes. I wouldn't be surprised if the lead changes hands in this next split. Again, obviously, if one person misses Birdless, they're going to be a minute or so adrift. At least. But even if they all get Birdless, there's so much micro optimizations and chopping and changing that happens that we might see some differences be coming out here. So Mega will be the first one to take on Birdless. Gotta jump dive into the right area, build up speed, negative speed downwards, and then get the launch, you get reflected upwards. If Mega can find the collision first. Mega seemed to make some mistakes with the platforming, so Mega and Jack will be pretty simultaneous here. In fact, Jack takes the lead again, gets the right collision. Mega also gets the right collision, but crucially, because Mega knows he has the right collision, he decides not to go for the same thing Jack does and heal the bird. Mega is confident enough that once he's got to this position, he's not going to, make the mistake where you fall down in the wrong position. Olive had some real troubles with that collision, but I think it's worked out. I think, yeah, Olive has got Gandalf in that dive position somehow. Yeah, and should be okay to get this Birdless. That was incredibly close to not working. Fair play to Olive for having a bit of game knowledge on how to adjust and back that up. Very nicely done. But it does mean that Mega will have extended a bit of the lead over Olive, and also has a bit of a lead over Jack as well, although by a very, very small amount. it's certainly not a large difference between the three at the moment. I think they're all still within 20 seconds maximum, maybe even less than that, which is really good to see from a race perspective. And you know, we've been treated to 3 very close matches where there's at least you know, multiple changes of lead between different runners at multiple points, which is very good to see. And it's probably, I can do a quick PB check as well. Jack is 12 ahead of PB right now. Mega's 6 behind. And Olive is 16 ahead of PB. Could one of these 3 pull out a 23 time from here? All of them are now low 24s. Mega has a 24.13. Jack has a 24.04 or something. And Olive has a 24.22. All of them right now, with what they've done so far in this run, are in a position to take a PB and break the next minute barrier. It'll be interesting to see if any of them can do it. But as we get into this bit of the Necromancer fight, yeah, I guess we can look at the golds from each of them in this split. By the looks of it, Olive has the worst gold here. Olive has a 640 gold, which is not great. I'll be honest, you can get down into the 2x kind of range, I think, in this level. But of course, a little bit of an element of safety. For a tournament, if you can get a 640, that's fine. Jack, meanwhile, has a 636 gold here, which is not too much better than Olive's, but, you know, 4 seconds is 4 seconds, especially in a level with so much micro-optimization as this. That's a good 4 seconds to save if you know how to save it consistently. And then Mega has a 630 gold, so huge differences between the 3 in all honesty. But, really good to see you know, more higher level runners coming in. It's always a good sign. That's been one really good thing about this tournament so far, is if you look at the leaderboard before this tournament started and right now, almost every runner has improved. From when the seedings were set, there have only been 2 runners that haven't improved PBs. That was Acute, who got eliminated in the qualifier, and Loyalist, who is still sat as 3rd seed, now 4th on the boards with a 23.58. Everyone else, so 11 out of the 13 runners, have PB'd, which is absolutely incredible to see. And that's the kind of activity we really like in tournaments. And there's still a long way to go. A lot of them have been race PBs as well. Obviously, Olive had race PB last run. Mega had a race PB in week 1 to be able to knock Laser down to Rung 3. Jack hasn't had a race PB yet, but surely that means there's one now, right? From what I remember, Jack has been in the habit of getting PBs the night before the race instead. It seems like that's the 2nd time that this has happened. I think Jack got into the 24s just before starting next week's, or starting week 1's race, and then of course is already down to a 24OX. So very, very nice from Jack. And look at the huge difference Jack has pulled out in the Necromancer, despite doing the slower version of Birdless. Just some kind of micro-optimization somewhere along the line, and Jack is all of a sudden 9 seconds to the good. Oliver's about maintained the deficit to Mega, but will be coming into Icicle Launch now. Mega does get Icicle Launch first, so that's advantage Mega for sure. Olive's got to catch up to Jack. Jack gets the launch. Yeah, just about. And we'll see Olive's attempted it now.
The company had arrived at
Is that enough distance? Just barely. So yeah, Olive's definitely put some time into Jack there, but it will all be for nothing if fast OTD doesn't go well. So that's what we'll see from all the runners. Mega still struggling with that new fast OTD setup. I don't think it's working for him. I think might need a bit more time in the drawing board. Yeah, just not getting enough height. Jack gets it instantly. Well, that might have been second try or something. As does Olive. And the same pattern with on the doorstep seems to be repeating itself. Mega's still struggling with the height for fast OTD. Really been an Achilles heel in this race. Finally gets the height and gets good height as well. But Jack will be in the lead, but Olive will definitely be second now. Still will be all to play for an inside info in the final level. But yeah, it's looking good for Jack right now. Mega is at risk of being the first 0-pointer, the first bagel of the competition, which is unfortunate. But there's still game left to play. Mega struggling a bit with get the buddy up. Interestingly, doesn't go for the horizontal buddy up, just goes for the vertical instead. Trying to do this kind of hover strat around the side, which I haven't found much success with, but it's definitely a newer, kind of more novel way of doing it, I guess. Does get the 0 studs at least, but yeah, not a great on the doorstep from Mega, but better than, you know, previous runs. Olive gets a 204 on the doorstep. That is really good for Olive. 204 is a very good pace. We'll see that here. Olive gets... Yeah, it'll be decent. A 12-second deficit to Jack is like nothing, and this is very important for the 3rd or 4th seed.
The company passed into the mountain.
Yeah, Mega struggled in that last room of on the doorstep, and again a 251 on the doorstep. At this level, that's just, it's not quick enough, unfortunately. Yeah, when both your competitors are getting a 204 and a 218 respectively, 251 just doesn't cut it now. So yeah, Mega's got to rely on someone else making a mistake to avoid getting bageled. Meanwhile, Jack will be focused on trying to beat Olive, trying to hold on to this lead, and Olive will be trying to be focused on trying to eat into Jack's lead here. Unfortunate death there for Olive. And I missed it. I think Jack had a bad statue skip because they're basically level on screen. And we know Olive does have worse loads than Jack, so I think Olive is probably in the net lead right now.
No, indeed.
Both of them look like they very successfully got the cutscene skip, but yeah, they are basically synced up almost identically, maybe a second of difference between them.
But I don't remember smelling your...
Meanwhile, Mega is on the same floor, definitely not out of it.
Under the hill. And under hills and over hills my path is led. And through the air I am he who walks unseen. I am
Lovely title.
Riddle maker. Barrel rider.
We'll see both of them come down to Chandelier Skip, which could be another division. Oh no, they both passed Chandelier Skip, sorry, I missed that floor. Mega's going to Chandelier Skip now. So both of them will be entering the unskippable cutscene nearly identically. Jack managed to put some time into Olive there. I didn't quite see where. But I think it's pretty much status quo. I think they're probably going to be pretty much even.
Oh, I don't think so. Barrel rider.
Which is what we do like to see going into these final launches, it's going to be very close to decide who gets 3rd seed and 4th seed.
No. I don't know what you're talking about.
I think our little game ends here.
Meanwhile, Mega is just coming into the last 4, and we'll be hitting the unskippable cutscene very soon. So, don't count Mega out of this. That's the thing. You can't really say, oh, it's done. Like, Mega's not going to be able to come back from this, because it's very possible. Not easy, but it is very possible. We'll see if that potential can be realized. But yeah, all it takes is one of them to have a not great launch somewhere along the line, and the door's open for Mega. At least to get some points on the board.
Tyrannical. Truly, you have no equal on this earth.
I haven't done a PB pace check in a while. Jack is +2 to PB in inside information. Olive is -15 to PB right now. And Mega is +50, so it is between the others right now. Do both of them get the first launch? I think first try. Jack looking at Loz's launch and gets it as well. Very nicely done from Jack. Olive going for it. That should be more than enough height. Yeah, gets it perfectly. Perfect amount of height for Olive. This is going to be so close between who will be our 3rd and 4th seeds. It's going to come down to Jack launch. It looks like Jack did pull out a small advantage, but we know Olive has the worst loads, so it could still be swing either way. And yeah, Mega's just got to hope from a mistake from one of the others, but both of them being on PB pace means that's not likely to happen. Looks like Olive caught up maybe a little bit in the 1P2C. Yeah, Mega struggling with that launch. Get out of bounds, that's great. Yeah, there's something about Olive in close matches, honestly. Every match I think Olive's had has been something like 20 seconds either way. Somewhere in there. But yeah, we'll see what time Jack gets here. After getting Jack launch, of course. And we'll also see what Olive can do. Like, Jack struggles with it a little bit. And Olive struggling with it as well. Neither of them seem to have got the setup sorted. This is interesting. Yeah, Jack gets a launch, but it doesn't go the right way. And then Olive struggling with it as well. Jack gets it, eventually gets good height. Olive gets it as well, so who has this gone to? Oh, I can reveal. With these final times, Jack takes the win. 24-22 final time. Matches Olive's PB and best time from the previous race. Very close between the pair of them. Yeah, very good to see from both of them. GG's to both, but Jack does take it by 12 seconds. And with that, of course, takes the win and the 3rd seed. So yeah, very good result for Jack. We'll see Mega close this run out. Olive, of course, with a fantastic set of runs as well. That final run being a 24:34 was only a second behind Olive's previous PB coming into this set of matches. Obviously PB'd in the middle one with a 24:22, but still very good runs from both. Mega will be finishing this out with Jack launch. See how this goes. That's the setup on keyboard. Looks like decent enough. Doesn't quite work. And we'll go for it again. Yeah, struggling to get this buddy up. This buddy up can be really awkward with back launch. That is the way it goes, unfortunately. Getting the spin towards the camera means that it is in the right position, but something else is happening with the game, whether it's some kind of pixel thing, whatever, and yeah, Mega decides to DNF the run. That's fair enough, given that he wasn't going to, unfortunately, wasn't going to get any points from that anyway. So, with that being said, we can update the final points. Jack with that final match win, 7 points to his name. And Olive, with another really solid run, ends up with 5 points. So yeah, very good from both runners there. Or all 3 runners, actually. 3 very complete runs. I mean, Mega getting a low 26 and a high 25 are still very good times, but Jack and Olive strung together an incredible 3-race series between the pair of them, which unfortunately pushed Mega out. But looking, I don't think we have any matches next up yet. Not fully scheduled anyway, so yeah, we will put them through pretty soon. When they come out, make sure you join the Discords if you want to keep up to date with all these runs. In the LEGO Speedrunning Tournaments Discord, we'll have a calendar going for when all the runs are live and such. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, everyone.